Out of Darkness, page 9. I mentioned Tanner Fry, a friend of mine, that was at Brandon's house that night. I met Tanner a month or so before in late 2015. I met him through my friend Daniel. Tanner had a gift with phones. We exchanged numbers after he cleaned up my phone. When I handed him my phone for the first time, it was locked with a passcode, and before I could say, "Oops, let me unlock it for you," he was already in my phone. He claimed that he could do some pretty amazing things with phones and computers. Tanner is also a whole story in and of itself. But the main point is that he was with me when I got ran over. May 16th, 2016, I was late for work. Tanner and a young lady friend of his were getting paid to help me finish a deck I was building. A day or so before, I had just gotten served my divorce papers, and I was not doing well emotionally. To top it off, I was spun ducky woo-woo and in a big hurry. The truck I was driving was a Dodge 3/4 ton diesel, and all my tools and some lumber were in the back. It was a 5-speed manual transmission, and it had transmission problems. When I downshifted too hard, it would kick the transfer case into neutral, and I would have to get out and get under the truck to physically put the transfer case back into 2-wheel drive. I climbed under and put my right foot on the rear axle housing for leverage. I probably left the truck in third gear, or when I put it in 2-wheel drive, it automatically took off and ran me smooth over. There's a chance that somebody might have put it in third gear. That always crossed my mind too. But anywho, so the truck pushed my right leg up into my ribs and chest and kind of started just rolling me up. When the rear axle got right over my chest, the truck actually lifted off the ground, being held up by my right leg. I thought the tire was going to come straight down on my face, but it skidded down the right side of my head and filleted my head open on the right side. I remember every second of it. I had 37 staples in the side of my head. Tanner stopped the truck and got out. I tried to get up twice, but I couldn't stand. Tanner noticed my head and tied a bandana around my head and told me to lay my head on his shoe until the ambulance got there. All in all, injuries were less than what they expected. I shattered my L1 vertebrae, lost 2 units of blood, fractured some ribs, 4 I think, shattered both of the loops on my pelvis, got 32 staples, in the side of my head, bruised my heart, lung, and intestines, had extensive nerve damage, and had 5 vertebrae fused together with 2 12-inch rods and 6 screws. And I was in a coma for 18 hours. Also, my heart stopped beating in the ambulance for 2 minutes, but I came back on my own. The doctors said that I might not make it. If I'm honest, I never had a moment of fear about the whole ordeal. I wasn't afraid to die. At that point in my life, I would have welcomed it. I wasn't afraid that I would never walk again, though that was a possibility. Even after the surgery was a success, the doctor said just from the pelvis injury alone, it would take 8 months to a year to start taking steps on my own. What seemed like a long road of hope to the doctor was a minor inconvenience to me. I told the doctor that I served a big God and I had things to do, not sit in a bed all day for months. 2.5 weeks from the ambulance ride to my discharge day, I was taking steps by myself. I went back to work full-time in 3 months building fences. Doc said that the rate of healing was not possible, that God must have done that. I had a miracle recovery, and I just took it for granted. I focused on getting better so I could continue to self-destruct. I was so stubborn, but a lot of times that same stubbornness would be a good thing. It helped me through the pain. I feel like there's a place where stubbornness and determination work well together. It's my belief once a person becomes too willful and is unable to be flexible in how they accomplish a goal in life or how long it should take, you have now stepped into an attitude of my way instead of God's way. Even though you could be heading in the right direction, pride will always separate you from God's plan. This is exactly what I was doing. So instead of total healing in my emotional, spiritual, and physical bodies, I was only receiving physical healing. That kind of pride is why God sets up in battle formation. It's destructive to his children. You can't just paint over decay. It will always bleed through. Denial always blocks truth. I remember my dad telling me, or trying to tell me, that Jenna was fooling around on me. He was not rude or judgmental. He just wanted me to see the truth, and I trust my dad. I responded with violence. I threatened to punch him in the mouth if he ever said anything like that about my wife again. Hey, stupid, right? There were others too. Know that revenge or slander is not at all my motivation here. Jenna will always be the mother of my two amazing boys, and at least 75% of our marriage were good times. I'm also not perfect, as you will see through this story, so I still have love for Jenna for a lot of things that she gave her best at. Now, that being said, let's move on to the darker side. There is a movie called Focus with Will Smith and a pretty blonde lady as the lead roles. The movie is about deception, con jobs, psychological manipulation, robbery, inception, identity theft, and so on. It's a great movie, and it's an accurate, vivid description of the criminal world, at least one part of it. Jenna and me went to the movie theater on a date night together, and what she saw changed her. Something flipped a switch in her mind, and she was different from that day on. The disintegration of our marriage was a slow and painful one. One day in Mississippi, I came home from work, and I knew Jenna had what I call flipped shits. She had made up her mind. She was not my wife anymore. She no longer did laundry for me, or made my dinner plate, or packed travel bags. Everything I had taken for granted for years was gone. We had already drifted apart. I was letting females talk sweet to me on games on my phone, which Jenna had rightfully gotten mad at me for. In my defense, I was honest and told her that I'm not getting any affection from you and I need some attention. Jenna was a very passive-aggressive person. She had some serious baggage from before we were married that she never told me about. I had repressed baggage I was unaware of until a couple of years after it was already over. Truth is that neither one of us had enough Bible doctrine in our soul, nor did we have a walk with God to have a defense against the wiles of the devil. Still, I never would have, or am I capable of doing what she did to me. That's the end of page 13. I'll pick up on page 14 on the next one.